Born from the chaos of war, the European Union was supposed to be a symbol of unity, peace, and progress. But in modern Europe, countries wrestle to call the shots, institutions fight for control, and then of course there are those hidden in the shadows pulling the strings. So while it may sound like a simple answer, there's a lot more to the question: who really controls Europe? Welcome to Living History. From its humble origins as a post-war peace project to its current status as a global economic powerhouse, the EU has weathered countless challenges and crises, but not without help. As a result, it has fallen into the hands of more and more shadow institutions that exert greater external influence to keep it afloat. Within Europe itself, there are 7 official institutions that manage the executive, legislative, judicial, and financial agendas. Seems simple enough to guess this is where the power lies, right? Well, not exactly. You see, when it comes to the EU, there are other, perhaps greater forces at play from outside these established institutions. Early Europe was financially and politically supported by the US, who saw it as a tactical geopolitical defense amidst the shadow of the Cold War. And let's not forget how the US paid for Europe's reconstruction after World War II with its Marshall Plan. From the start, the waters of Europe's financial system have been muddy, with money flowing from foreign pockets into Europe and shaping the bloc. And by now, you're probably thinking of the Rothschilds. There are endless theories and red strings on a corkboard tying this mysterious family to the EU's financial system, with the footnote, "Follow the money." And more often than not, the money does really lead back to the Rothschilds. So there are some that reckon everything from interest rates to immigration policies are shaped and influenced by the very flow of this money. Whether or not you believe that, right from the start, you can see cracks begin to show in Europe's economic idea of unity and integration. But this is just the beginning. Over the ensuing decades, the EEC evolved into the European Union in 1992, expanding its reach and influence to encompass a wide range of policy areas, from trade and agriculture to environmental protection and human rights. In principle, of course, the idea of a union is a great idea. There's no arguing that greater collaboration and partnerships are a good thing, right? But what if there are other external institutions that have the power to shape and even break this unity? Consider this: the World Economic Forum, founded in 1971, is a non-profit organization based in Switzerland, and it exerts considerable influence over the European Union through its network of business leaders, policymakers, and other influential figures. While the WEF itself does not hold any formal authority within the EU, its annual meetings in Davos shape global economic agendas. Over the years, the World Economic Forum has cultivated close ties with European leaders and institutions, leveraging its vast resources and expertise to shape policy decisions and drive economic reforms across the continent. This influence extends beyond ideas and words, as shown by the prominent role played by WEF-affiliated individuals in shaping EU policies on issues ranging from trade and investment to climate change and social welfare. The roots of the WEF's influence over the EU can actually be traced back to the aftermath of World War II, when European leaders sought to rebuild war-torn economies and foster greater economic cooperation in order to prevent future conflicts. In the years that followed, the World Economic Forum emerged as a key player in global economic governance, advocating for free market principles and neoliberal policies aimed at promoting economic growth and development. As Europe embraced the ideals of globalization and free trade, the WEF's influence over EU policy-making grew exponentially. Today, the organization's fingerprints can be found on virtually every aspect of EU policy, from fiscal austerity measures to deregulation and privatization initiatives. While this influence over the EU may not be readily apparent to the casual observer, its impact on European politics and economics is undeniable. By leveraging their positions of influence and expertise, the World Economic Forum is shaping the course of policy decisions and influencing the direction of the continent's future. While this may sound like a tinfoil hat idea, just consider the reality of corporate control. Forget governments, multinational corporations hold all the cards in Europe, or so the theory goes. With their deep influence and even deeper pockets, these bigwigs are allegedly calling the shots in Brussels and beyond. Lobbying, backroom deals, you name it. If there's a profit to be made, you can bet your bottom euro that big business is somehow behind it. And then there's the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. With its mission to promote policies that improve economic and social well-being globally, the OECD's recommendations and analyses often shape EU policy-making in diverse areas. For instance, the OECD's research and policy guidance on topics such as taxation, education, healthcare, and labor market reforms influence EU member states' policy decisions and contribute to the development of EU-level initiatives. Through its regular reports, country reviews, and collaboration with EU institutions, the OECD provides valuable insights and benchmarks that inform EU policies and reforms, reflecting its role as a trusted advisor on matters of economic and social policy. But that's not all. Darker theories abound about who's really pulling the strings in Europe. Perhaps it's a secret gathering of the world's most powerful people, from politicians to CEOs, experts across industries and financial sectors, all huddled together off the record behind closed doors at the annual Bilderberg meeting. With so little known about these meetings, it has been speculated for years that perhaps these meetings don't just shape Europe, but the entire world, as real-time decisions are made. But even if that sounds too simple, there could also be a shadowy world order hell-bent on world domination, and the EU is just a pawn in their sinister game. Unity, freedom, human rights. The New World Order doesn't care about any of that. Who needs all that anyway, right? Certainly not the Freemasons. Oh, come on, you didn't think we'd do a video about who's really in control and not mention them now, did you? If you've managed to avoid this part of the internet so far, first, how? But congratulations. And second, let me explain. The Freemasons and other secret societies are thought to have been lurking in the shadows for centuries, gathering in dark caves and abandoned cabins under full moons and hooded robes. From Brussels to Strasbourg, whispers abound about Masonic members using their influence to steer EU policies in their favor. Still, if you can't figure out who might be in charge, it seems even those at the top of the European hierarchy can't agree on it either. Infighting for power between leaders creates its own divide within the EU, now increasingly torn between West and East fault lines. And many new Eastern EU states feel resentful of Berlin and Brussels' agenda setting for the entire group, without much consideration for every nation's individual needs, as these stronger countries arguably exploit or overlook the smaller, weaker economies. And consider, Emmanuel Macron's post-election speech in 2017 also signaled a desire to create a strong French agenda for the future of the EU. He delivered 4 proposals to help stabilize the economy, such as deepening the single market, EU support for nuclear energy and research and development, reforming EU trade policies, and private investments. It was riddled with protectionism through the lens of France's interests, as he said. Nuclear deterrence is at the heart of France's defense strategy. It is therefore an essential element in the defense of the European continent. It is thanks to this credible defense that we will be able to build the security guarantees expected by all our partners. So, who really controls Europe? Is it money? Politics? Something more secret and sinister? The answer is probably some part of all this. Whoever, at any given time, has the most political or economic influence to drive legislation and policy to benefit their interests, which, like the person or organization in the lead that day, is always changing. Still, if it sounds like business is already bad in Europe, what would happen if NATO were to collapse too? To find out, check out our next video, linked here.